Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, there's the menu. I knew it was around here somewhere.
Really?
Hello and welcome to Pixar. No, really, we're at Pixar. I can prove it. Go ahead. See, that's John Lasseter. So we're at Pixar. Okay. Now, welcome to Disc 1 of Finding Nemo. I'm Andrew Stanton, the director of the film.
And I'm Lee Unkrich, the co-director.
We're excited to present these two discs with direct digital transfers of the film, a widescreen version here on Disc 1 and a full-frame version on Disc 2. Now, if I were you, then watch the in-depth documentary Making Nemo. For the first time at Pixar, we had a documentary filmmaker recording the production right along with us. And then watch the film again, but this time you should turn the visual commentary on.
Oh yeah, this is really cool. The visual commentary has the traditional audio narration during the movie, but in addition, every few minutes we'll illustrate an aspect of making the movie with a short video clip.
Oh, and there's a little fish icon on some of the menus, and when you select it, the menu text will disappear, turning your TV into a virtual aquarium.
Those are just some of the highlights, but there are plenty of other things for you to find, including some Easter egg surprises.
So grab your remote, sit back, and enjoy the 2-disc DVD edition of Finding Nemo.
Okay, you got a lot of choices here. You can watch... Okay, you got a lot of choices here. You can watch just the movie without the commentary.
I'm so excited. I've always wanted to see The Little Mermaid.
Let's make a selection, a selection, a selection. Make a selection on the DVD. Oh, pick something.
Cool.
Welcome, explorers.
We just want to make a good movie. We just want to make a movie that entertains us, that I would want to see, that doesn't exclude anybody.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good, I can tell.
Final.
I always believe in research. No matter what the subject matter is, you cannot do enough research because so much believability will come out of what's really there.
I went on numerous field trips and research trips.
Going to the museums to actually take fish out of the bottles and have a look at them close up.
I went to every single person early on in the film and said, you have to get certified scuba diving, you have to go underwater. We cannot make a movie about the underwater world without you experiencing it firsthand.
The design of the coral reef has been really interesting because we had all taken scuba lessons and gone and looked at the coral reef. It was spectacular. Just experiencing the reality of a world like that has an enormous psychological impact and an impact inevitably on the work you begin to create.
People came back just with these eyes like, it was amazing. You know, I said, I told you.
Well, one of the first things I did was I got together with the R&D group and we looked at images of things underwater and we thought, what is it that makes you believe that it's underwater?
We put together our simplest version of an underwater set, almost like My First Ocean, and tried to make that look like it was underwater. Our first test appeared to be either a chlorinated swimming pool or a very foggy day on a heath somewhere in Scotland. We didn't get ocean water.
Each of these individual aspects of being underwater looked great, but we couldn't get them all to work in concert together. I just picked a couple shots of things above water and things below water from real footage, and I said, okay, using exactly the tools that we have created and nothing else, I want you to see how close you can mimic these actual shots. And they came back a couple weeks later, and they put the two images up, the actual live-action footage and then our footage, and I couldn't tell which one was which. We were shocked. I mean, we were elated because it's like, oh my gosh, we did it. I mean, it looks like water. Then we had to sort of pull back and go, wait a minute, it looks too real. We want you to believe that it exists, but we want you to also kind of feel that you're in a make-believe world.
We just push on a story as hard as we can, and we try and buy ourselves as much time as possible to work out every aspect of the story.
It's really important for us sort of at the head of this big pipeline before it gets down to layout and animation and lighting to work this thing out right. And that includes pacing of a film, that includes the emotion, making sure that people are feeling things as the movie progresses.
And on Nemo, Andrew thought he had the magic bullet because he wrote the screenplay himself and had a complete screenplay going into this, which we don't always do. We thought that this whole process was going to be much smoother sailing. But the reality is once you put these movies up in storyboard form, a lot of things come to light that aren't clear when you're just reading words on a printed page.
The thing that finally makes it on the screen is all about rewrite.
Is that funny enough? Make it funnier. Okay.
And a good portion of the rewrite process is not done by the screenwriter, at a word processor or a typewriter. It's the story department. It's the guys that sit in a room with you for close to 2 years batting out ideas, countering your ideas, drawing up story panels, putting them up on a wall, pitching things, putting things on a reel down in editorial. It's a very malleable, messy, glorious process.
Sometimes it's about doing things over and over and over and over again. And even though I've done this a lot of times, it never fails to bring me to that point wherein, oh boy, I don't want to do that sequence one more time.
When it works, it's amazing. The power of what you can do with a group of great minds. But it can also be very, very frustrating because there's not a singular mind at times.
When it really got dark and we didn't know what to do, Andrew Stan and I would jump in a car and we'd drive to LA. You know, instead of flying down to go down and record Ellen DeGeneres or Albert Brooks, we drive 6 hours. But what that would force us to do is to just talk it out with no other distractions. And we worked a lot of good stuff out that way. And when I watch the film now, I can remember where we were on I-5 when this idea was brought forward.
We cut the boards together with dialogue, temp music, temp sound effects. It's very important that the experience of viewing the story reels for the audience is going to approximate the experience of viewing the finished film.
Just one point! Good eye!
We spent a lot of time, we spent years, in fact, honing this story reel to try to create the best, most solid, entertaining template for the movie.
What we decided to do was to establish a range of underwater color to track the characters through the film. So with the reef, we start with crystal clear, kind of very light greenish turquoise. And as the film progresses, it gets darker green turquoise, and then black, and then blue. And then as we get closer to Sydney Harbor, it becomes greener. The pastels are used to kind of outline the color and the mood and the lighting for the entire film. Here's this morning in Pelicans. I start off again with a big broad stroke color palette, and we try and figure out time of day and mood for the film. And then as we move forward and things are getting finalized in story, I go back in and, just visit key shots in a scene to kind of provide a direction for lighting.
He'll put out the inspiration for what the scene should feel like and how it fits into the whole.
We'll scan them in, and then she'll take them and she'll balance the colors a little bit.
And he'll see it later, and he's like, wow, that looks as good as I was hoping it would look, which just, of course, makes me feel like $1 million.
It was by trying to make a shot appear to be like you see when you scuba dive and you're underwater that we came up with a whole bunch of elements that were critical to making a shot feel like it was underwater, which include how it surges and swells back and forth, the particulate matter in the water itself, murk being the fall off of color that water filters differently than air, the caustic lights, which is the light play from the surface that you see in the bottom of a swimming pool, the beams those things go through because water is so much denser than air, you can see the light shafts themselves. Okay, now how is it different being in a reef than being in deep ocean water than being murky in a harbor? Oh, okay. So now you have to find different settings for all those various things again and set the levels again so you get, harbor.
If you look at fish, it's amazing how little we did have to caricature them because they're so wild in their shapes and forms.
They took a lot of scientific input, but there are some things you just have to do in order to act that fish don't do.
Real fish have the eyes on the side of the head. They don't have eyelids, and they don't blink, and they don't talk. So how do you design a fish that is able to talk and emote how dogs emote? The subtle movements of their eyebrows is enough to emote like sadness or happiness.
Neutral.
Excited. Angry.
Stern.
Sad.
And it's the same thing with these fish designs. We put enough eyebrow mass in there to really get the nuances of emotion. So I basically now have to flesh that design out, start figuring out the details about the fins and the gills and the mouth and the teeth, and turn her around, draw her from so many different angles. So as I'm developing that character, there are some designs that Andrew and Ralph really like, and then they give it to Jerome Ralph, the sculptor here.
We're generating these sculptures to pre-visualize character design.
We knock these out in clay, just like this, and we do it as fast as we can so we can get as many changes from the director and the art director, as many as we need.
That's really when the magic happens. Starting to see that 2D drawing come alive in 3D, and it's like I get all this amazing information from it. I start seeing it in a new way. I start turning it around. I look at it from the top and the bottom, because you never know if that's the way they're going to be seen in the movie.
Once the sculpt's done and we get approvals, then it goes on to the modelers, and then they actually start building them in the computer using our clay sculpts as reference.
Then we would have animators come in and help us figure that stuff out too. So the process is incredible. It's so collaborative.
The shader and texture art director is responsible for taking those models, both sets and characters, and giving them life in terms of the scales or textures on the surface of these characters.
Tropical fish die a lot, unfortunately, and so they always have a good supply at fish stores of dead fish. So then we'd take them and we'd slap it on the scanner and we'd hold it up to the light and see what it looked like, and start identifying what the important characteristics are of that fish, what color they are, what kind of texture they are, how they respond to light when lit. So like whether they're shiny or smooth, whether they're velvety or translucent.
This bag of tricks as animators for bipedal characters. We'd all carried around with us, even ever since Toy Story 1. It wasn't until we had done the first few tests that we had realized that it's a completely different language. I think for most animators, it takes a good month or two of pretty intense stuff to really get into understanding what makes a fish feel like a fish and adapting their old bag of tricks to the new bag of tricks. One thing I always equate it to is animating fish is like animating toilet paper underwater, but like muscular toilet paper. It's so loose and smooth everywhere, but then muscularly driven that's a hard thing to do.
One of the first lectures I gave was on how fish move, and I was sort of amazed to get called back just 2 days later to sort of look over some of the things that they had dummied up based on my lecture. And this fellow was showing me how the fish moved and everything. I said, they can't move their pectoral fins like that. That won't look right. A fish can't just sort of do that. He said, you know, Adam, fish don't talk.
It takes a tremendous amount of effort to create something that looks effortless.
You're pushing the envelope, you're stressing your production plan out as much as you can to bang on the story and get the lines just right and get it edited just right.
Crunch time is almost literal. It's like you have so much that comes right at the end because you've taken so much time to plus the story.
I think when things get really tough around here and when you start to feel the stress build up, that tends to be when we kind of explode as a group and people just go crazy. We tend to kind of just blow off steam or whatever.
What happened when we moved to this big building is you don't see the people that you used to see all the time. And I think that a lot of us were missing each other and missing that collaboration. It's called the Ugly Contest.
Basically, all of the men have grown mustaches. The women have put eyeshadow on from their eyelids all the way up to their eyebrow, like obnoxious colors. When they're in the building, they have to have it on. When they're outside the building, they can take it off. So I think they actually get away maybe a little lighter because this thing doesn't come off.
I started adding more makeup, and eventually I had the complete face, and then I decided that I'd start to wear different outfits. as the contest went on, people were going out and checking each other out more often, and we did get around to each other's offices and chat and look at each other's work and get feedback and just had fun.
Your hairdresser.
I know.
I pushed my belly button and pulled.
On the production, we have what are called shot briefings for the animators. And to be honest, all that is a fancy word for what all directors do with actors. You may be talking about what your character's motivation is, or simply you need to be swimming here, and you suddenly have to be at this point in the frame by the shot's over. Whatever the actor needs to make the scene work.
I remember it. I do. It's there. I know it is because when I look at you, I can feel it. And I look at you and I'm home.
I can say to you, she realizes she doesn't want to be lonely anymore. I don't think she's that articulate, and she understands even that clearly. But I think she's felt it. She just hasn't formed it, right? So it's like forming as she's saying it, right? So she's like, if you leave, it's like basically I will be lonely. But she doesn't even know that yet. She's just like it's going to be bad, right?
There's definitely acting that comes from the voice talent, but it's really people's ability to get inside of that character. You have to know all about it in order to bring a character to life. Otherwise, the character's not alive, it's just moving.
I locked the door, I closed the door, and I put up some pictures of different people or things in my life that were important to me that are gone now, and kind of put myself in that moment for a while, and it was a depressing day. But, and then after a while, after I was really kind of in the moment, I looped the dialogue, and I kind of went with it, and then I turned on my little computer camera here.
And I look at you and I'm home.
So working from that has been a great help, and hopefully, since it's coming from a sincere place in me, when it's coming out of Dory in the film, it'll feel like it's coming from a sincere place from her as well.
It's almost like when you show your shot, you're naked, and you can't hide behind anything.
So yeah, I haven't shown it to Andrew yet.
It's there. I know it is because when I look at you, I can feel it. And I look at you and I'm home.
She comes across more collected than I think we want her to come across as. My initial response is that you have to have a little more jerky left and right on top of your stuff at the beginning. Some hint, some tell that it's all falling through her fingers right there as she's talking.
There's a lot of this back and forth that happens, and this super fine tuning, so that you get a really appealing character, and they always feel organic, and they never feel computery.
It feels like he's locked in space, hanging from a hook right here. Did you try stretching his neck? Just like a half-beat pause. Oh, like that. He just swam. Oh, scoot, just looks like, yeah.
If we've done our job, you never sense the technology that's behind it. You just get the art out of it. You get the entertainment out of it.
I remember it. I do. It's there. I know it is because when I look at you, I can feel it. And
Final!
Yeah.
I think that the interior of the whale scene is a good example of just an enormously challenging sequence from all avenues. We're inside a whale mouth, most of the time underwater, and the whole whale is underwater, and it's at night. So where does the light come from? You have to invent something that looks believable, shows the action, makes the characters look appealing.
It makes it really hard on lighting to have two main characters, one that's blue and one that's orange, in a blue environment, because you want the orange one not to go black because you're hitting it with blue light.
There was some concern about Dory disappearing, considering that we're in a lot of blue in this film, and turquoise and things. But that just goes to show you how terrific the lighting staff is here.
Yeah, we're a little hot. So what color is your sunlight? That really super deep, dark blue. You get a good shadow of squirt on father when he's doing the head nod. Some of this might be in shadow from the cabin.
Yeah.
I'd say the most challenging part of my job is usually we have a lighting crew that's 30 to 40 people, and we're all trying to make the same movie. We're all trying to make shots that look like they could have all been lit by the same person.
It looks awesome. Final.
Graham said, we got to film about water. And, oh, what kind of water? Is there splashing water? Is there pouring water? Are we underwater? Are we above water? Oh, actually, we're all those things. Oh.
Here, you just need a sim of the water being affected by this boat rock. This is the big kickback splash.
Yeah. The producer, half of my brain, looks at a schedule and goes, I cannot splash water in 800 shots. I cannot afford to do this. Okay, the director, half my brain says, we're going to splash water in 1,200 shots. Every shot needs a splash because we're in water. Okay, both are not really true, so where's the middle ground? If you do it right, you get a couple shots you spend a lot of money on that look just, they're so cool. Yeah, you just melt. They're amazing. And the water does everything. It's completely real. We totally controlled it. And you feel like a rock star. There are a couple shots you do about half that in, and a couple shots you don't do very much in at all. And if you pick just the right ones to spend your money there, as an audience member, you watch it and you believe the whole thing.
Almost 3.5 years. That's a long time to work on something and still not know whether or not it works. I mean, I thought it worked, and I thought it worked the first year that I worked on it.
It's like you never really know until you see it with that preview audience, especially when you've seen it so many times.
2 years later, after a lot of dead ends or wrong turns and changes, you just get sort of beaten down.
About the 20th time, you're not laughing at that joke anymore, and you forget that that joke's funny.
I was at a very vulnerable state, and I think the whole production was. We just didn't know what we had. So when those lights went down, my stomach was just churning, and I was practically hiding my face because I didn't know. Not only did the screening go well, they were the best 2 screenings we've ever had in Pixar's history. It was amazing. I found myself realizing that I had pretty much followed Father's journey and gotten to the point where I was just seeing everything half empty. And that was my moment of seeing things half full, for this picture.
The time we had taken to get the story right really paid off. It was really resonating with the audience, and of course, it was also the shot in the arm we needed to come back home and go, all right, let's crank this thing out, let's go.
Take an audience to a place you want it to go and they get there, that's just unbelievably satisfying, because that means that all the stuff you spent doing for years and years and years actually worked.
It's been a long, tough road, but we've all been there before, and we know that it's worth it. It's worth all the hard work.
I've always known, even in the darkest days of the making of this movie was going to be stunning. And it is.
Once the dust settled, I feel like, wow, this movie isn't exactly what it was when I planned it, but when I watch it, it's exactly what I wanted to feel like.
Dad, you can let go now.
Sorry. Now go have an adventure.
Bye, Elmo.
Nemo.
Nemo. Bye, Nemo.
See you after school, Dory. Bye, Dad.
Bye, son.
Welcome, explorers. So much to see, so much to learn. Let's go!
It's a mobile platform, so myself and the cameraman have got to speak to each other quite a lot about where the camera's going to be. And obviously we need a certain amount of aircraft stuff.
It's not polite to stare.
They're
Not until
staring.
you do it, and you've got a demanding producer in the back, and you've got a cameraman who can't see where he's going, and you're over, 7,000-foot mountains, and they're saying, can you just go a little bit slower and a little bit closer? It's not until you do that that you realise how demanding it is and how to keep everybody safe.
Antarctic weather played a major role in determining the success of this shoot. As the clouds set in, the crew was left to amuse themselves. The Royal Navy offered to lay on the entertainment.
Top tip, always do that, facing downwind, not into wind. Out to the Antarctic first.
I was in a much smaller boat, a wonderful boat that belongs to an extraordinary Frenchman, Jerome Ponce.
Hello and welcome to the audio-visual commentary for Finding Nemo. I'm Andrew Stanton, the director of the film.
And I'm Lee Unkrich, the co-director.
I'm Bob Peterson, the co-writer of Finding Nemo.
You're about to watch the entire movie with a very unique commentary where Lee, Bob, and I will not only be talking about the film, but it'll also cut to video clips that show different aspects of how we made the movie.
Your DVD player will automatically go to these video clips, play them, and then jump you right back to the audio commentary.
If you ever want to skip over the video segment, just hit the next button on your remote. So now you can sit back, relax.
Hey, whoa. I didn't get my close-up. You and Lee both got a close-up. I want a close-up.
All right, fine. You can wrap it up.
Thank you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the audio-visual commentary presentation of Finding Nemo. What?
The anemone tendrils you see in the test really just are Sully's hair. The hairs are fatter, they're a different color, they're tapered at the end, and they're being pulled up instead of pushed down by gravity, and they're waving around. Other than that, it's really just hair. The final anemone was much more complicated than that. Each tendril is really a cloth sac. There's a lot more control over how they move, and of course they look completely different. The tendrils getting out of the way of the little ball as it goes through is an automatic thing. Nobody had to animate that. The simulation just does that. Most of the time, once you get it set up, that works pretty well, but sometimes, well, I really don't want this tendril here, I have to get out of the way.
There were definitely some situations where the tendrils around the characters didn't do the right thing just out of the simulation. So Cameron Miyazaki, one of our new guys, we gave him the challenge, 99% simulation and 1% animation.
And look up at the moon.
just like tonight.
And he lived on a big house on the edge of the reef.
No, it was small.
But it was surrounded by billions of hungry sharks.
No, just some seaweed. And a clam.
Aww.
And we lived happily next to a roaring volcano.
A volcano? Really?
No, it was a regular house on a regular reef, and it was just perfect for us.
What did I look like?
Well, you were so little, I could hold you in my fin.
I remember somebody looking at me. What did Mommy look like?
She was very pretty.
And then the ocean took Mommy away?
That's right, it did.
A key light, which is kind of an overall bright light that determines the direction of the light. There'll be the caustic light, that dancing light on the ground that's coming through the water. There's also a bounce light, usually from the sand. It's kind of a low-level bounce coming back up onto your props and fish. There'll be an overall kind of bluish fill. There's the murk and the fog lights.
Well, I do know one that's pretty good. A mollusk swims up to it. No, he doesn't swim up. What is he? He was already there. And a sea cucumber is standing next to him. They don't stand, they grow in one place, but they do lean. Let me start over. There was a sea mollusk and a sea cucumber, and they were like friends. No, they didn't know each other, because now one's going to ask something that a friend wouldn't know. The sea cucumber looks over to the mollusk, right? And he doesn't really look, he sort of glances. Actually, he was in the middle of a sneeze. That's sort of the important thing, because you got to imagine the sea cucumber sneezing. So he sneezes, and then you know the way you do when you sneeze, your head sort of turns accidentally somewhere. So he looks over to the right, and he sees the mollusk. And so he looks at the mollusk, and he says, hey, not during low tide. You know, I didn't get that exactly right. See, let me tell you something. The mark of a really funny fish, the joke doesn't have to go exactly right. It's delivery.
Back in A Bug's Life, we discovered that presenting nature on screen meant simplification. We went diving, and we discovered that a coral reef could be broken down into 3 simple ideas: tall vertical things, big flat horizontal things, and round masses. So if you ignore the ground plane and the ceiling that is...
Nemo? Mr. Ray? Nemo! Mr. Ray!
I was swimming along and I couldn't find any food, so I just decided to hang out the other day.
My son was about 5, so this would have been about 98, I think. And I had not seen him a lot because of a lot of work on Bug's Life. And so I wanted to spend some time with him. I said, so let's go take a walk. And so my little 5-year-old and we went out, and we were just going to walk down about 2 blocks to the park. And I thought, some father-son time. And I spent the whole walk just going, stay away from the curb. Don't touch that. You don't know where that's been. Oh, careful from that. Oh, there's a car. Oh, be careful of that branch. You know, and I just spent the whole time correcting him and overprotective and making sure he didn't get hurt. And I just remember this other part of myself, watching myself going, you are just losing every opportunity. You're just missing out right now on being present with your son. And that I couldn't stop thinking about that. And I thought, geez, here I am just wanting so badly to be a good father, yet I'm not achieving that. And so I thought, what a ironic dilemma. I thought, fear can deny a good father from being one. And that intrigued me. And that became the missing link to putting all the pieces together for what ultimately became Finding Nemo. Okay, so you're like this really panicked little chicken fish. And you see Nemo swimming out all the way, and you just go, just whatever comes to mind, Kathy, whatever comes to your mind, that's what you think that character would be. Just shut it out. Just let it out.
Oh my gosh! Nemo's swimming out the sea!
Yes!
Yay!
Kathy Ringgold. I think we'll use that.
And so he's out there swimming, and it's getting later and later. He's been asking fish after every fish, "Excuse me, have you seen my dad? Have you seen him? Have you seen my son? I'm looking at my son, and he's on this boat." But nobody will help him. Nobody at all. The rest of the gang are all behind Nemo. They're all going, "Riley, we got to get you out. There's got to be a way to get you out." And they try to put their heads together. How do we get him out? How do we get you out? I heard of something once. This is risky. It may not work, but I heard of a fish from another fish that did this once. It's called flush, rush, and you're out. And Nemo goes, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm looking for somebody too. We can look together." "Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're so nice. I'm Dory. I'm Nemo. Nemo. That's a nice name." And Nemo, what? Guess what? Sea turtles. I met one, and they're 150 years old. "Really?" "Yeah. Because Sandy Plankton said they're 350 years old."
I just always remember looking at fish and sensing how much light went through them. So that was one of the first things I sort of threw at them. I said, can we make that?
What makes fish look so different from just a piece of plastic, basically, is that there's several layers working together with light to create this look.
And for a long time, we didn't have a word for it, a phrase for it. And finally, I was just like, well, it's like gummy bears. It's like when you put the gummy bears, you can hold a light. And so it ended up becoming the catchphrase. We just call it the gummy effect.
80% this gummy substance in them, and then we just augment with surface lighting to get it to look like, they've got some sort of surface on top of all that so you can read their face, to get them to look like they're both glowy and readable at the same time.
Start, got the ball.
Hey, a game! Hey, can I play? Pick me. Me. Can I play?
The object is simple. Whatever you do. Okay, let's play. There we go. Catch!
She's got it! Woo! All right, we caught it! Woo! We caught it! We caught it! We caught it!
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm a nice shark.
Hey, what happens if you drop it? Ooh, okay, I get it.
Except bloody dolphins. Dolphins? Oh, look at me, I'm a flipping little dolphin. Let me flip for you, ain't I something? Right then, today's meeting is step 5, bring a fish friend. Right then.
An important feeling of underwater, especially like World War II ships that end up at the bottom of the ocean, is that they rest and they decay. Smacking in of a huge great white shark into a door would release a bunch of sort of rust particles, silt, which had settled onto that stuff, would get knocked up, and the water would get a lot murkier locally in that area, and then you see the silt kind of puff up and then settle back out. The key thing about doing silt and making it believable really has to do not so much with how it gets kicked up. Dust also responds on the top of your refrigerator. You smack the top of a fridge, your dust will kick up in the air. It has to do with how it settles out. And things slow down a lot faster in water. Water is way more viscous than air, as people know. And so when Bruce the shark knocks silt off a door or off the ground or something, as it is ejected into the water around him, it sort of flies in quickly, but then immediately slows down, is eased out by the water, and then gently settles out due to gravity. But once it's in the air, Bruce's tail then sort of swims by and kicks it. It all has to react to that as well. Keeping track of all those dynamic interactions underwater is quite difficult to do. And we spent a lot of time and attention to make that look believable. And when it's done right in a shot, suddenly that adds a whole different additional level of believability to being underwater, which is a key story point in the film. An exposure underwater has some different sort of properties than ones in air do. You typically get this fireball that goes big, gets small again, and leaves behind it a mushroom cloud of smoke that rises up through the water. Lighting also plays a huge component in connecting each one of the explosions to the ones that are local. Tire set until the whole thing is one big popcorn explosion of red and orange and yellow and horribleness.
What did you think when you found out that character had been named after you?
I think it's great. I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag because she's kind of is it the word villain? And I think it's just his way of getting me back.
Klaus, the pinata's drooping.
No, E equals MC squared, and you know it as well as I do. You have a bad haircut, not me. Who's there? Banana who? Aren't you glad? Big money! No whammies.
These 3 tiki heads are actual caricatures of Pixar employees.
Andrew was very clear that he wanted this shot like we've never done before at Pixar. And so
the shot also presents a difficult challenge insofar as there's.
We used a tool called Pisces, which simulates the behavior of the fish. We would set up a bunch of basic parameters where the school would be, how fast they should swim, and then simulate and do iterations of that until we got something we liked. The number of fish that we would simulate would vary from 5.
Well, we needed to figure out how jellyfish moved for one, and that was kind of what this was all about. And this was also to figure out give them something to figure out all of the dynamics down below with.
We began by taking simple spheres as standards for jellyfish and sprinkling them in the volume and pointing a camera that direction. We had no idea how complicated the path was going to be from that attempt at a simplistic view of the set to fully realizing the set. And the whole thing together became quite a mess to untangle.
Quite a Pandora's box, this little guy right here. But it was worth it because it's beautiful in the film. It's a beautiful scene.
One of the most important elements to make the tank look believable in the set that it was in was the use of reflections and refractions, looking from outside in and inside back out. Took both videotape footage, stuck our heads in tanks, stuck our heads outside tanks, and stared at the fish in the tank we had downstairs to really get a sense for how the image gets warped and distorted by the glass and water interface. The effect itself, the physics are well understood. To do it in computer graphics cheaply is hard, and especially to cheat it so we can control it, which is one of the key things about it. And so we weren't able to just duplicate physics directly. We need to put controls in to adjust it and fudge it.
Where are you from, Gil?
Oh, you wouldn't have heard of it, shark bait. It's a rough part of the ocean.
Where is the rough part of the ocean?
Use your tail. Your tail. It's called Bad Luck Bay. Place is sort of shaped like a human skull.
Cool.
But I got brothers and sisters. Let's see, there's Marco, Polo, Lester, Linus, and Lulu.
Lulu?
That's her name. Don't wear it out.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock.
Bet the bandages come off today.
Oh, they might not. Who knows this?
Of course they will. It's Friday.
Gil's right. All major revelations happen on Friday.
Marco, Polo, Lester, Linus, and Lulu. Well, hello there, said the captain. And who might you be? He asked. Marco, Polo, Lester, Linus, and Lulu. Lulu, he chuckled. That's my name, said Lulu. Don't wear it out.
Brothers and sisters. Let's see, there's Marco, Polo, Lester, Linus, and Lulu.
So
Don't
they
wear it out.
tugged, and when suddenly, whoosh, out came a giant
It was a swordfish, okay? The mean kind.
it
Long
has a
blue
blue
stripe
stripe.
down its side, one more
Actually
inch, and
had good
You
luck
wouldn't have heard of it,
fishing.
shark bait. It's
Out
called
Bad Luck Bay.
Bad Luck Bay. It's a rough part of the ocean. It's sort of shaped like a human skull.
So what happened after I got stung?
I just told you. You had gotten lost in the jellyfish forest, okay? And I had to go find you. Are you still with me? So after I found you, you got stung pretty bad. Okay, quick recap. You get lost, then found, then stung. Ouch, ouch. Now did you get all that? You still don't look like you were listening. Because you know when your eyes go past me like that, I have a hard time believing you're listening. Oh.
Dude,
Jellyfish. Intense, man.
Dory, this is Crush. Crush here actually knows a whale.
Yeah, we all know the whale, man. He is to be known, for the whale is a very wise dude, man. Right now, the whale's like out there, man. Feeding, you know? Food for the mind and the soul. Whoa. Did you see that?
So this lamp of a lighthouse is an actual lighthouse that exists on Thatcher Island off of my hometown of Rockport, Massachusetts. And it's called the Twin Lights. There's one on each side of the island, and there's actually one on each side of the lobby. There's 2 lamps. This is a historical building that is in my hometown called the Motif Number 1. It's in the harbor, and a lot of people come from all around. Jolas 3, it's the name of my father's sailboat, and I'm embarrassed to say that it was the 11th hour when I suddenly realized I had not put that on any of the boats in the movie, so we changed one of the boats at the last second and got it in there. I think I would have been disowned had I forgotten that. Lobsters are abundant where I grew up in New England, and I know we're all the way down in Australia, but Joseph Eckers is one of our story guys, and he did research on this part of the world.
Relax. Take a deep breath. Feel yourself floating. Imagine the scent of lavender.
Okay, we're back, Dory.
Okay, we're still breathing.
No, we're not breathing now. We're back.
Balance the chi.
Dory, the chi is fine. We got normal chi now.
We are lost. Can you give us directions? There. That should do it. And I just realized that we're being videotaped now. And when I say we, I mean me. So this is perfect.
Don't worry, whales don't eat clownfish, they eat krill.
Run away!
Oh, look, krill!
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo.
When you go to make computer-generated water, one of the problems is that water is really not one thing. When you look at a scene with water in it, there's the water surface itself, and then there's spray, which is really just small, loose particles. And then there's a transition zone where if you watch a wave as it comes up, it'll come up and break into little tiny particles, little blobs that still look clear. They still look like water, and then they fragment more and turn into spray. It's the believability of that transition that's the hardest thing to do right in computer-generated water. And the reason is when we model something with particles, the particles we use are bigger than the size of a spray drop, just because of the computational requirements. If you really wanted to do a shot like the whale tongue shot, you would really need billions of particles of water, but we can't do that. We can at most do millions. And so we have a lot of tricks that go into taking this fairly coarse-grained description of the dynamics, turning it into a surface. As the surface moves,
we'll get a shot like this out of animation, right, that has no water, just the characters sort of holding on. And the director will tell us, oh, I want like a whole ton of water at the beginning, and it'll sort of ramp down over the progression of the shot. And so the first thing we do is we start out with these things that got dubbed ball pit renders because it looks like, a big Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Problem is, sometimes the water doesn't do what you want, right? And so we showed this to the director, and he's like, well, I don't think he could talk, if he was under that much water. And then once we get something that we're happy with at this ball pit level, then we'll go and we'll actually try to form a mesh out of it. This sort of takes all the particles, and then where there's a lot of particles, or where it really should be a solid mass of water, it gives us the solid surface that we can use. And then everywhere else, you get these particles, sort of what you end up seeing.
I found his dad!
In a big action scene like this pelican sequence, we'll oftentimes build much more footage than we'll end up using in the final film.
I think this was 3-to-1, approximately, for footage that we created and then the shots that were actually used in the final film.
What we actually did in the scene is, we knew the basic action that needed to happen. Nigel needs to take off with Father and Dory in his beak, swoop into the water, and then fly around being chased by the seagulls. And what we did was we basically blocked out that entire action flying around the harbor and then filmed it lots of different ways. Big wide shots, tracking shots, shots moving through the air, shots locked on the ground, panning, seeing them go by. And we just really went to town building a huge amount of footage. And then we found the final scene in the editing room.
This is Nigel. He's a pelican, this guy. And figuring out how to make this guy fly is a mechanical thing because we're looking at like these live action clips to see, well, how does the real bird fly? And then you want to, I thought, well, what if I put some overlap into this thing and really make it a little you take caricature and acting and you put all of that stuff together, and that's where the end performance really comes from.
No, it was coming down to that same issue again of that it was feeling like Nemo's story because we were making a point of showing him overcoming a situation that he would have backed off from in the past. It was also redundant because he does that in the filter.
Yeah.
And it's just the scene wasn't really doing anything other than being a bunch of eye candy and an exciting little sequence, but it was really just kind of taking away from the forward momentum. You really wanted to get back to Father and see how he was dealing with realizing that he was too late and that he thinks Nemo has died.
I'll talk! He went to the fishing grounds! He went to the fishing grounds! He went to the fishing grounds! Yee! Why? Yeah! Yeah!
We broke it out into like what we call hero shots and crowd shots.
Shot hero because we couldn't get that kind of close connection between net and fish without animating by hand. But in far shots is done simulated. But of course, the simulator doesn't do it all exactly right. Some fish have their tails sticking out. Some fish get stuck outside the net and want to go back in, which is of course completely insane. So you have to kill those fish and clip the other fish off to make them fit inside the net shape. And there was a whole team of folks who had to work on that stuff with animators to make sure that the amount of activity of the fish.
So just then the sea cucumber looks over the mollusk and says, "That's not a barnacle, that's Grandpa." So just then the sea cucumber looks over to the mollusk and says, "Not partially mackerel, holy mackerel." So just then the sea cucumber looks over to the mollusk and says, "Hey, this tastes like carp."
At Pixar, it is a tremendous collaboration in making these films. We have such amazing artists working together to do these films. We couldn't do it any other way. Unfortunately, this past year, we lost one of our greatest collaborators. He's a great animator, a great friend, and a fantastic family man. His name was Glenn McQueen. He was the heart and soul of our animation department. We thought we'd cut together a little bit of Glenn for you to see, to see what a great guy he was. Glenn is not gone from us. He's still alive in all of us. So here's Glenn McQueen.
Every film that gets released, I think of it as it's like you're planning a surprise party for the world, Because no one else knows what you got here, but you can you're gonna I can't tell you, I can't tell you, wait till you see, I can't tell you about that either. And then, whatever, November 12th comes along or 17th, there you go. Bye.
You don't think I've offended the Warriors, do you?
You? No.
No. Oh, good. Because, you see, when you first brought them here, I thought you'd hired a bunch of clowns.
You did? You did? You had lightning in a bottle. You had just the right kind of people who had the right kind of skills at the right time. Oh, it was surreal. It was like being in this awesome Hollywood dream. It's probably the most valuable thing that I've gotten from working at Pixar, forgetting about, professional, being able to work on great films and whatnot, is making all kinds of friends.
Oh, there's nothing to see here. Did you think there'd be aquariums for every menu page? Don't be a greedy guts. Now go back to the menu and watch something. Go on.
Welcome, explorers!
Hi, my name is Ralph Eggleston, and I'm the production designer on Finding Nemo. My role was to work with a team of artists to provide a visual style for the film with the backgrounds and the characters.
Hello, my name is Ricky Nyarva, and I am the character art director for Finding Nemo. My job was to make the characters look fantastic.
Hi, my name is Robin Cooper, and I was the shading art director on Finding Nemo. And my job is to make Ricky's characters look even better by addressing the surface qualities of those wonderful characters, and also the surface qualities of all other items in the film.
We're going to sit back and look at some artwork from the pre-production of Finding Nemo. What's really fun about it is everybody has a different take on the same subject, and it's just great to kind of inspire people, especially the director, so that he can begin making decisions on what he really wants. What we're going to be looking at first is what we call the prologue, and it's the opening of the film, and it kind of sets up Father's dilemma. He's there with Mother, and they're looking at the eggs right before a barracuda attacks.
This is the image of the barracuda, and if you look closely, you can see Mother's tail hanging out of his mouth. And Andrew Stanton, the director of Finding Nemo, wanted us to go more of a kind of like a bullet train design for him, just speed.
This is a painting, actually, trying to design or define what kind of metallic highlight we'd have on the barracuda itself, and what kind of, like, the shape of the scales and the shape of the chevrons and that sort of thing.
This was a piece that just helped us define the kind of fanciful nature of the world of the reef. And the coral reef is so beautiful, but there's so much there. We had to find a way of organizing it and simplifying it and paring it down and choosing. This was a piece that was done exploring the translucency, or what we call transblurency, of the anemone tendrils.
And just how translucent we'd want it to be. We wanted it to seem inviting and not like he's living in a bunch of water balloons.
This is a development piece of Father, Mother, and Nemo, and this is very, very, very early on, even before Nemo has his lucky fin.
It's his father looking out on the world, something he doesn't really enjoy much of anymore because of what happened to him in the past.
This is one of my favorite pre-production.
The beauty of all these images is that the light is just so incredible. This is a great pastel of Pearl.
Flapjack octopus.
Flapjack octopus.
In her actual flapjack octopus color, which of course she didn't turn out to be.
Oh, they have some pink
More of a
ones.
pink.
They have pink ones.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Ours does. Here's a great picture of early Dory capturing her nuttiness in this piece.
Her wacky nature.
Wackiness. This one piece, Andrew knew that this was our character, Dory.
One of the cool things about the character is the eyes, and I Don't know if it's this drawing so much as it is about the eyes and the depth that I was able to get in the eyes that are really based on Ellen DeGeneres' face and her eyes. She's got such beautiful blue eyes and such deep shadows in her eyes. Bruce Chum and Anchor, the three sharks in our film.
Yep. And Andrew and Ralph really wanted to go for a scary, scary look. He just kept giving us the direction of just go scary as possible.
This scene was always in the movie, although they were playing volleyball with the mines originally. This drawing kind of set the tone for this entire scene, the entire sequence in the film, in terms of the set.
And this is a painting for what a mine might look like, and also for a suggestion of what the moss hanging from the mine might look like.
Oh, there's so many details about this piece. It's incredible. You can even see the welding.
This is a painting exploring the wall of the abyss wall, which is what the submarine is hanging out over. This is part of the anglerfish sequence, where anglerfish are these fish that have these little lures over their head that kind of lure fish to them.
There's so many different types of anglerfishes out there, too. They run the gamut of having smaller eyes to larger eyes, and the artists would do different iterations of that to try to find our character for the film.
And also there's a lot of machinery on this thing, like, the glowing light and the lure and the runway lights and the teeth. Pearlescent eyes and the teeth that have to be see-through, and there's a lot going on that character.
Now we get into the tank. This is the first scene that was put into production in the tank, and it was called Initiation. It's where there are other characters that have been in the tank already are kind of bringing Nemo in to their gang. The dramatic coloring, the orange color of the volcano really did kick back some of the colors on the characters. Works for this scene, but we did have to keep reminding ourselves that you will see them in regular lighting. They're not always going to look like this.
We can't change them so that they look good just in that scene.
This helped us establish the Vegas-style lighting that we wanted in the tank.
And color. There's lots of color there.
Lots of pretty images. That was one of the funny things, is that we wanted the entire world of the dentist office to seem antiseptic and drab, except for the tank.
Everyone remembers the toy chest after you get your examination from the dentist, and we just try to get all those little details in there.
If you look closely in the movie, you can see a Buzz Lightyear hanging out there. This is Gil. The essence of the character was story-driven and character-driven. We knew the voice was Willem Dafoe. It really helped us nail it.
One of the hardest things about Gil was trying to make that long dorsal fin look really beautiful.
The drawing exploring a character named Peach. Jacques is a snail.
Escargot.
Escargot.
The final design of Jacques, he really captured that kind of quirky French attitude. A little cleaner shrimp.
The antiseptic nature of the exam room in the dentist office. Also the waiting room. In both cases, we wanted to keep the waiting room warm and friendly, and then the exam room very antiseptic, just like a dentist office might be. What we call the trench.
A little squishy.
The entire jellyfish scene is one of the earliest put into production, but one of the longest in production. It's about 8 months worth of work between the design and the camera work and the layout and the crowds. I think in few shots there's 6,000 jellyfish.
This really captured the glow, the pink glow that these deadly creatures.
Andrew wanted it to look like a wedding tent.
The idea here has always been for Andrew that it's this very beautiful, diaphanous-looking thing that's deadly.
Oh, this is a beautiful piece of all the different pelican variants, and great job of making them all look different, have different personalities.
This is Gerald, Nigel's best friend. Supposed to be a little bit fatter and a little bit more scruffy. Originally wanted a 6-pack of plastic
on his leg.
And this is Nigel, early piece. A little bit dirtier of docks, a little bit more older and traditional. We ended up going with something else slightly more modern. There was an entire scene in the movie where Nemo was going down the toilet and through the sewage treatment plant as the water was being cleaned and then dispersed into the ocean. This scene got cut very, very far back. These are some sequence pastels showing the lighting and color for the water at the outflow pipe. This crab is being fed to the seagulls by Dory. The fishing net, and very WPA style. What we tried to do with the lighting and the color here is tone everything really far down because we like the black and white effect, although we didn't want to go completely black and white, we're striving to achieve a feeling of black and white without entirely going black and white. We were able to make the world be very high contrast and dark, with darks and lights without a lot of color, so that Father, Nemo, and Dory really pop out from this crowd of fish and all of the activity going on here. So this is just a selection of artwork from a lot more that was done. It kind of provided the director with a vision of the style of the film. This was really just a starting place, and the film grew from here.
So if you'd like to see more of the artwork
that was done for Nemo,
you can go to the galleries and poke around on your own. Well, thank you guys for all your help.
Thanks, Ralph. Oh, and I've loved working with you guys on this film, and I just wanted to say thank you very much.
So here's that $20 then.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to my trailer.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing. You know, I think it's best if I carry on from here by myself. You know, alone, without. Well, I mean, not without you. I mean, it's just, but I don't want you with me.
I'm Nemo. I'm from the ocean. Anemone.
See, I suffer from short-term memory loss. It runs in my family. Well, I mean, at least I think it does. Where are they? Can I help you?
I'm obnoxious. I'm H2O intolerant. See this tentacle? It's actually shorter than all my other tentacles. But you can't really tell, especially when I twirl them like this.
Name's Bruce. How'd you morsels like to come to a little get-together I'm having?
Well, it's about time, mate. We almost had to have a feeding frenzy. Remember, fish are friends.
We've already gone through the snacks and I'm still starving.
Oh, thanks, mate.
A little chum for chum, eh?
Most excellent! Now, turn your fishy tails round and swim straight on through to Sydney. No worries, man!
We're gonna get him out of here. We're gonna help him escape. We're all gonna escape. Go on, it'll be a piece of kelp.
You're covered with germs! Ah! Ugh, the human mouth is a disgusting place.
Bubbles! The bubbles! The big bubbles, the little bubbles, my bubbles, the sugar bubbles. My bubbles.
Psst. Suivez-moi. Follow me. Ouh, la mer, bon.
Hi, how are ya? Kid, if there's anything you need, just ask your Auntie Deb. That's me. Or if I'm not around, you can always talk to my sister, Flo. Don't listen to anything my sister says. She's nuts.
There I go. Little help over here. Still going. Anybody. Help me. Somebody. Grab a fin. Look what you did. Anybody. Oh, boy.
Oh, slow down, little fella. There's nothing to worry about. I'm from Bob's Fish Mart.
And howdy! From my neck of the woods, eh? Sorry if I ever took a snap at you. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta eat.
All right, let's see those pearly whites.
What's that?
Well, that's one way to pull a tooth. Good thing I pulled the right one, hey, Prime Minister?
I'm a piranha. They're in the Amazon. I get fishy, 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 fishy.
welcome.
Hit the little fish button that hides the menu text entirely and turns your television into a virtual aquarium. Oh, they've chopped the movie up into tasty little bites. Yummy. Here are some juicy little morsels. One potato, two potato, three potato, four. Come on. Oh, nothing's happening. Well, not everything you can click is a fancy Easter egg. Sometimes a click is its own reward. Let that be a life lesson for you. Good day.
Coming soon to theaters.
Mr. Incredible, we need your help.
Showtime.
Come to dinner.
I can't come to dinner. I've got the red. I gotta go. Maybe just a salad and yeah. Ooh, some rice cakes.
Come on.
Are you ready for a side-splitting, finger-snapping hoedown?
Yeah, pretty much. Why?
It's got good guys, your move, bad guys, wide open spaces, and the greatest hero the West has ever known, the dairy cow.
Well, there it is then. 3 dairy cows who've never been off their farm are to scour the entire West for a wanted outlaw, bring him in and collect the $750 reward, all in less than 3 days.
What? Let's not put the cart before the horse.
Awesome!
Though I am fabulous. It all starts with 3 bodacious bovines who have a little patch of heaven all their own.
I know a place, pretty as pie, where the river bend hits up with the end of the sky.
Here, have an apple. Don't go near any luau's, though.
I'm telling you, they're gonna auction off Patch of Heaven.
I think we all know what happens now.
What?
Now we all get eaten.
But who would eat a chicken? Come on, guys. Time for a little bovine intervention.
And get this, to save their farm, the cows turn into bounty hunters.
We're looking for a cattle rustler named Alameda Slim.
Yeah! I think these cows got it in for me.
Come on, girls. We've got a farm to save. Ha! Bovine bounty hunters. Now I've seen everything.
Out in the land where the wheat can target
He must be taking stupid lessons from that buffalo. You cows are fierce.
Last one to the barn sleeps standing up.
Coming soon on video and DVD.
What's on the menu? A corned piece of each, I can sing to you, it's Pumbaa.
I gotta tell you, Timon, that song always gets me right here.
Yeah, Pumbaa. Well, enough of that.
Timon, what are you doing?
I'm fast-forwarding to the part where we come in.
But you can't go out of order.
Au contraire, my porcine pal. I've got the remote.
But everyone's gonna get confused. We gotta go back to the beginning of the story.
We're not in the beginning of the story.
Yes, we were the whole time.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Then why don't we tell them our story?
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we tell them our story?
Oh, I like the sound of that.
A little backstage tour. Take them behind the scenes for a revealing and intimate look at the story within the story.
Because what they don't know is how we really were there, even though they didn't know we were there, you know?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, does this mean we're going back to the beginning?
Oh, no, Pumbaa. No. We're going way back to before the beginning. Wait. Hold on a second. 3? What's with the 3? No. The 3 has got to go.
Timon, you can't use 2. There's already been a 2.
Ooh, you got a point there, big fella. It's not a sequel anyway.
Yeah, more like a behind-the-sequel.
What, a hooquel?
Oh, you know, an in-between-quill.
That's it. Pumbaa, my muse. It's genius. There. Now this title's a knockout. No! Not literally.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a motion picture as big as the holidays themselves.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa Claus is back.
Look out!
But this year, Santa ran into a little problem.
I've got to get married? These fit yesterday, didn't they?
The identification process has begun.
Are you Santa Claus?
Why would you ask me something like that?
Because you have a reindeer.
There's a lot of people have reindeer.
Name 5.
Experience all the wonder and magic of an unforgettable Disney event.
We have Coco, we have a blanket, we have a horse-drawn sleigh. The only thing it's snowing. It's like some kind of magic.
I'm Santa Claus.
What?
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Tim Allen, the Santa Claus 2, rated G.
No. That's gonna leave a mark.
Coming to Disney DVD and video November 18.
Hello, welcome to Disc 2 of Finding Nemo. I'm Andrew Stanton, the director of the film.
And I'm Lee Unkrich, the co-director.
You now have 2 pristine versions of the film direct from the digital source. You have a widescreen version on Disc 1, and here on Disc 2, a full-frame version that fits a standard TV.
But instead of chopping off parts of the frame to make the image fit, we've actually extended the image so you won't miss anything.
Now, after the movie, discover the wonder of the ocean by watching Exploring the Reef with Jean-Michel Cousteau.
Then watch our 1989 short film, Knick Knack.
Learn about the real-life fish of Finding Nemo in Mr. Ray's Encyclopedia.
Test your guessing skills with the game Fisharades.
And kids can listen to A Tale of Nemo in story time.
And just like on Disc 1, when you select the fish icon, the menu text will disappear, turning your TV into a virtual aquarium.
And of course, there's a few Easter eggs on this disc as well.
So grab your remote, sit back, and enjoy Disc 2 of Mary Poppins.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
The ocean. From above, a simple blanket of water. But below, a complex world full of color, life, and wonder. This is the coral reef, a timeless thing of beauty for all to enjoy. And yet, mankind's actions have destroyed over 1/4 of the world's reefs. Please join me as we explore the fragile beauty of nature's underwater world. I will be your guide and your host. I'm Jean-Michel Cousteau. Coral, growing only a few centimeters a year, has taken millions of years to build the limestone skeleton of the reef. And though located in nutrient-poor waters, the coral has learned to thrive. But it hasn't done it alone. It has developed an amazing relationship with algae, a tiny plant that lives inside the coral's body. This connection is delicate, and the introduction of additional nutrients can upset this balance, leaving the reef at risk. Little fish, I'm trying to make a documentary film.
A film? A film? I've always wanted to be in a film.
I was just explaining the delicate balance between coral and the algae living within its body.
Algae living inside the coral's body. Come on, that's creepy.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Isn't. Isn't.
Whatever.
No, it is not a whatever. It's true.
How do you know? Are you a coral?
I'm Jean-Michel Cousteau. And I've studied the ocean all my life.
Well, I'm Dory, and I practically live in the ocean.
Good for you. But now I must continue to make my film. So long, Dory.
Hey!
Anemones also share a delicate connection with their inhabitants, the clownfish.
Clownfish? Did somebody say clownfish?
What now?
Carlin, burrito. This is... sorry, what was your name again?
I'm Jean-Michel Cousteau. Arrêtez la musique! I was trying to talk about anemones.
That's perfect, because this here is Mr. Anemone.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Dad, you know everything about anemone.
Come on.
Well, all right. Anemones are really like snails, except, no, snails is not, no. Oh, they're like a bed of stinging hair. Yes, a large bed of, no. Oh, imagine if spaghetti could talk.
That's enough. If we remain silent, we may see the chameleon of the reef, the amazing cuttlefish.
Did you want to see him change color? I can help. I can speak cuttlefish.
She's good feet.
Can you please change color for us?
No.
There's Carrie. Hey, Care. Frederico. Myron. My man, Myron. Bermuda. Hey, Enid. Yolanda. Phyllis. Gary. Hey, Gary.
Ça suffit. I'm trying to make a film here. Even the lovely Spanish dancer depends on...
Did someone say dancing? Clear the reef. Papa's back in town.
Stop! Let me talk. The ocean where you live evaporates to form clouds. The clouds produce snow. The snow melts, feeding rivers, irrigation, drinking water, then down drains through sewers, all back to the sea. Everyone, everywhere affects the ocean.
Wow, amazing.
Finally, you're listening.
Yeah, I can hear the ocean.
Arrêtez maintenant, je ne peux pas travailler comme ça.
Mr. Cousteau? Jean-Michel? Are you there?
Where'd he go?
I'm back, and I am fine.
Can we get you something? Do you want a glass of water?
Dad, why is that coral white?
Well, you know when you get sick, you turn a little pale? Well, that's what coral does. It turns white.
What happened to it?
Well, as more humans use more energy, it creates more pollution. The resulting global warming increases the temperature of the ocean. When this happens, the coral cannot survive.
Will it be okay?
Well, Nemo, it won't be easy. People must learn to live in better balance with nature, conserving energy, recycling, reducing pollution. But if we do all this, the ocean's temperature may lower, allowing the coral to flourish. In fact, tonight is the one magic night of the year when healthy corals reproduce. There, it is happening.
Ooh, look at that. Whoa. Amazing.
Look at this.
Happy birthday, coral. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Incredibly, the corals release their eggs in a single night so that even the hungriest fish cannot eat them all.
What's it doing? Dad!
When you're a little older, son.
As mankind's actions continue to damage and threaten the reef, we must take responsibility and change our behavior to protect and preserve it. For we are as connected to the planet as the corals are to the algae living within them. And just as we
Algae living inside coral? That's creepy.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't.
Oh, it's normal. See, they work together. Algae are plants that make food for the coral, and corals fertilize the algae.
But when there's pollution, the coral can't get enough food from the algae.
Look!
Wow, you guys know a lot about the reef.
Well, it's not hard. You just have to pay attention and listen.
Then why won't you listen to me?
Oh, hi. Who are you?
I am Jean-Michel Cousteau. Upstaged by fish. This would have never happened to Papa. Goodbye. I am Jean-Michel Cousteau.
Keep exploring the reef with Jean-Michel Cousteau at oceanfutures.org.
Elegance, style, form, function. The Aquascum 2003. plain tank living. The Aquascum 2003 hermetically sealed dual-phase motor technology is not for use as air conditioner, faucet, tire pump, pool sweep, water purifier, or laser pointer. Not approved for freshwater fish. The AS2K3 contains a Class 3 laser. Warning, laser beams may cause permanent eye damage. Filter canisters contain ammonium nitrate, may cause ichthyological diarrhea, scale wart, cankers, fish gout, and/or bloatation. One additional canister filter supplied in EAG-compliant areas if purchased on third Sunday of the month. Free keychain on purchase of 2 or more at participating Fisharades.
Fish don't have eyelids, so never enter a staring contest with a fish.
Wow, mammals!
Let's go.
The connection between clownfish and their anemone homes is as amazing as the connection between zooxanthellae and the giant Tridacta. You just can't imagine one without the other. You see, clownfish can live among the anemone's stinging tentacles because their bodies are coated with protective mucus. Mucus? Yuck! That's why it's never a good idea to shake fins with a clownfish. Paracantherus hepatus are delightful little creatures. Unusual for the sea, these fish are vegetarians. Like a cow, they digest plant matter by fermenting it in their gut. Also like a cow, their bodies conceal sharp spines, which they use to defend themselves against predators with a... Huh? What's that? Oh, since when? I have just been informed that cows do not have sharp spines concealed on their bodies. So, moving along. Ah, the lovely black and white humbug, also known as the zebrafish. With its striking black and white stripes, some might be tempted to call it the striper, or the vertical blind, or the picket fence in front of coal, or the ebony and ivory fish. You might call it the barcode, or the white-bread pumpernickel fish. But for me, this fascinating little flipper will always be known as Frank. Zebrasoma flavescens are herbivorous, eating all manner of plant life. Their short snout is evolved for the specialized task of grazing on algae, which grows on rocks. The mouth and surrounding skin has toughened to withstand the impact with the rough reef surface. This modified nose may be great for finding food, but it makes it almost impossible for them to wear glasses. The common name for the Lismata amboinensis is the cleaner shrimp. This aptly describes the amazing role these little creatures play. The cleaner shrimp climb aboard other creatures and pick off parasites. This provides food for the shrimp and keeps the other ocean dwellers healthy. Eating so quickly, the shrimp appear to be beating on their own chest. But recently, scientists have determined that this chest beating is simply the shrimp's way of asking for the check at the end of the meal. The spectacular Zanclus cornutus is an unmistakable fish, with its bold coloration, projecting snout, and dorsal fin augmented with a long filamentous extension. Say that with me, kids. Filamentous extension. The genus name Zanclus comes from the Greek word for sickle, inspired by the sickle-shaped dorsal fin. Gosh, aren't fish names fun? Even the study of fish is fun to say. Ichthyology. Ichthyology. Oh, I love that. The hippocampus cuda, otherwise known as the seahorse, whoa boy, is one of nature's most curious designs. Covered in bony plates, which serve as a kind of armor, these lovely but shy creatures have an unusual method of propulsion. The dorsal fin undulates, acting like a small propeller. Maybe we should call him Helicopterus cuda. Get it? He's a helicopter. Okay, we're done. The starfish may appear lifeless and motionless, but in fact, they're one of the most dynamic and exciting creatures in the sea. These living wonders move in remarkable ways. But the trick is to be patient. Take it from Mr. Ray. When they move, it's truly worth the wait. Let's watch. Ever so slightly, and... Okay, nothing yet. Remember patience. Every movement is like a jewel to be studied. Wait, is that? No, nothing. Oh, who are we kidding? Is this thing even alive? It's like watching algae grow. Forget it. That's enough of this starfish. I've had it up there. After swimming many miles, mother turtles crawl up on the beach to lay their eggs. Once buried in the sand, the mothers leave the eggs and return to the ocean. When the eggs hatch, these feisty little newborns are the very definition of self-reliance. Their remarkable instinct leads them to the ocean, where they swim deep out to sea, searching for their mother to ask, "Hey, what's the big idea leaving us all buried here in the sand, huh? Were you ever gonna come back and check on us?" It's at this point that the mother turtle would send the baby turtles to their room for a timeout. And that, boys and girls, is a little glimpse of why Mrs. Ray and I never had kids. Now, the Diodon holocanthus may be cute, but it also happens to be one of the most poisonous fish in the sea. It's known as the pufferfish because when threatened, it puffs up to appear more powerful. To achieve this amazing shape, it fills its body with water to stretch its skin. This pokes out its sharp spines, which make it impossible for predators to ingest them. Unfortunately, once the pufferfish is inflated, it still is at the mercy of others in the ocean, namely the local teenage fish, who use them as volleyballs or floats in the parade. While many think of great white sharks as brutal, cold-blooded killers, the Carcharodon cacarius is actually a brutal, warm-blooded killer. These powerful swimmers can hunt in cold water because they maintain their own temperature. Surprisingly, for a predator this large, they can even launch themselves out of the water to land on prey from above. Isn't that great? No one's safe on land or sea. No one is safe. If anybody needs me, I'll be buried in the sand right over there. Bye! The Grandma Loretto feeds on drifting plankton and small crustaceans. It has the remarkable ability to swim upside down easily. While colorful and attractive, the Royal Grandma is a shy and secretive fish. What secrets does this tiny swimmer hold so tightly? What does a fish know that would make him so secretive? Is there something we don't know that we should know? Hey, little fella, let us in on the secret. Why won't you tell me, you impenetrable Royal Grandma with your secretive ways? I vow that one day I will discover your secret. Mark my words. Whoa, now there's something I know a thing or two about. Me! With unusually large brains, rays are some of the smartest creatures on the reef, if I do say so myself. Though graceful and majestic, rays are not built for speed, but we can cover ourselves with sand as a clever defense mechanism. Remember, it's harder to get hunted when your predators can't see you. Being crepuscular, most of our activity is in the low light of dawn or dusk. And darkness is no problem for rays because we sense things electrically. In fact, I'm sensing your DVD player right now. Some people refer to the 1,000-mile-long Great Barrier Reef.
It's time to play a righteous game of Fisharades! So who's on board? Just you? Or are you cruising with a buddy? Solo! So it shall be written. Let us begin. Listen up, my young ones. if you want to totally rock at this game, these righteous silverfish are going to swim in and start forming shapes. Sweet, huh? I'll say. But wait, get this. Every time these shiny dudes bunch into something, you gotta guess the shape before the jellyfish, like, totally floats to the top. See where I'm going with this whole thing? Uh-huh. The faster you guess, the more points you'll bag. I'll give you 4 choices to choose from. Got it, dudes? All right, let's rock! Now, what will our little friends do next? Whoa, check it out. Is it a sea snail, a mask, an eel, or a dolphin? Ride it out, you're hanging in there. Check it out, dude. Is it a shovel, a boat, a dolphin, or an airplane? Ride it out, you're hanging in there. Okay, coming at you, player dude. Is it a rotor, a starfish, a wheel, or a ripped, chucked, and cut?
My name's Dory, and here's my story. I'm from the reef, and I don't eat beef. Come on, join me, you know the words. My name's Dory, and here's my story. I'm from the reef, and I don't eat beef.
Whoa, check it out. Is it a majestic whale, or a majestic rotor? Or maybe it's a majestic surfboard, or the equally majestic bottle which majestically warms us all. Ride tall, dude. Riding tall. Okay, wave machine. Is it the sun? The sun? Your awesomeness is magnified only by your ability to totally rule. This one's a gimme. Observe. Is it scissors, a ladder, a glove, or a surfboard? Ride tall, dude. Riding tall.
Okay, I got a game. I'm thinking of the color blue. Now, guess what color I'm thinking of? Boy, you're good.
Okay, this one's like so easy. Okay, a squid could guess it, dude. Okay, is it a hook, an eel, a seal, or a torpedo? Dude, you were so close, except for the ones you missed. You got them all right. Do not be fooled, my most awesome friend. Are you gazing at a paddle, a rotor, a wheel, or seaweed? Your awesomeness is magnified only by your ability to totally rule. Could this be the one you stumble on? Oh, methinks not. Methinks not at all. So, and this is when legends are made, in the rematch.
Okay, I got a game. I'm thinking of the color blue. Now, guess what color I'm thinking of? Boy, you're good.
No way around this one, dude. You gotta take it head on. Is it a fish, a seal, a whale? Ripped, chucked, and cut. Okay, dude. Tread water while I tally your score. Dude, you kicked some major tail. Keep up the good work and rock on. Word up, dude. It's time for me to swim. Catch you later.
Hi, kids. Welcome. When you're ready to move on in this... And now, Nemo goes to school. Nemo loved school. He loved his classmates, his teachers, and he loved to learn.
Time for school! It's time for school!
Come on,
Boy,
it's
oh
time
boy,
for school.
oh boy!
Every morning, Nemo's dad, Marlin, would take him to school.
Along the way, Nemo loved to ask lots of questions.
Have you ever met a shark?
No, and I don't plan to.
How old are sea turtles?
Why don't you click on Marlin for the answer?
Sea turtles? I met one, and he was 150 years old.
Mr. Ray was everyone's favorite teacher.
Huh, I wonder where my class has gone. Oh, there you are.
If you click on the notes, you can hear Mr. Ray's song.
Oh, let's name the zones, the zones, the zones. Let's name the zones of the open sea. Oh, seaweed is cool, seaweed is fun. It makes its food from the rays of the sun.
Mr. Ray's lesson was Your Ocean Home.
Well, Nemo, all new explorers must answer a science question.
Okay.
You live in what kind of home? Okay, don't hurt yourself.
In Nemo's next class, there was a guest teacher that day.
Hi, I'm Dory.
She was teaching the class how to speak whale. Click on Dory if you want to hear some cool whale speak.
Can you?
Then it was time for music class. Click on the instruments to hear what they sound like. Then it was show and tell, and Nemo brought in some special friends.
Hello, my name is Bruce. Fish are friends, not food. Well, we'll see you next week.
After the sharks left, it was time to go home.
Remember, fish are friends.
Not food. Bye.
As they swam home, Nemo told Marlin how he couldn't wait to go back to school tomorrow. Marlin had to tell Nemo that he couldn't. Because it was Saturday.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim.
Hi, kids.
The new Disney Pixar film Finding Nemo is an amazing story about a father searching for his lost son. Now here's the catch. The father and son are both fish. Now let's go deep underwater and meet the heroes of this story, Marlin, his son Nemo, and their friend Dory. Marlin, tell us, how did this adventure begin?
Oh, it's such a long story.
Oh, come on.
All right, Dory. It was Nemo's first day at school, and he was swimming way too far out when he got scooped up by scuba
divers.
No way.
Yeah,
And then
I was in a fish tank in a dentist's office.
Whoa, you must have been... Oh, my gosh. Is that a camera? Hi, I'm Dory.
Hi, Dory. So that dentist's office turned out to be all the way in Sydney, Australia. And to get there, you had to fight your way past jellyfish, whales, and sharks, huh? Wow, that's tough stuff. So why didn't you just, give up?
Well, we had to say a little pesto.
It's Nemo. Dory has a little trouble remembering things.
That's right. Can't remember diddly. In one ear, out the... Oh, my gosh. Is that a camera? Hi, I'm Dory.
Uh-huh. Marlin, tell us and our viewers here, after crossing the ocean to rescue your son, how do you feel you really changed as a fish? I mean, you can't go through, something like that and not be affected, at least, internally.
Well, that I was being overprotective with Nemo. Nemo? Nemo!
Ollie,
This is not funny. Get out here right now!
Guido!
Hello, mates.
Hi, Dad.
Nemo!
There's a lot of stuff in here. A shoe, a bike, a
Nemo,
surfboard.
please swim out of the razor-sharp teeth.
Hey, I just had them cleaned.
Marlin, our viewers would love to know exactly how Nemo was rescued.
Oh, well, we really shouldn't give too much away.
You can give us a hint.
No,
Just a little.
I just can't.
Come on.
No, it's better.
All right, interview's over. No more camera.
Oh, my gosh. Is that a camera?
No!
Oh!
Whoa. Well, I guess that wraps things up, huh? I learned 2 things today. A father's love for his son can overcome all obstacles. And always remember to put the camera in a shark cage, huh? Well, remember as always, you're watching me, so I'm watching you.
Hey, this is Alexander Gould as Nemo, take 4.
Okay, we're going one more time.
Cindy Plankton from next door, he said that sea turtles, they live to be about 100 years old.
That was great. I think we got it.
All right, that's a wrap. Good job, Alexander.
Thanks. But, hey, Andrew, how do you turn my voice into the talking fish on the movie?
You know what? We're right here in the studio. I can just show you. You want to see how we do it?
Cool. Sure.
Come on. First place I'm going to take you to is the story
Andrew,
department.
we're running late. Let's go. We've got the screening room booked. Everybody's there waiting.
That's right now? I didn't know that was right now.
Hi, is this the story department?
Sure is, kid.
Andrew told me the movie starts in the story.
The director? So what we want to do is act three.
No, Andrew's not with me.
Oh. So what can we do for you, kid?
I want to know how you make the movie Finding Nemo come to life.
Sure, you're in the right place. The story department, we'll tell you how to do it. Okay. What we do is we draw a bunch of drawings. It ends up kind of looking like a big comic book, which tells us what happens in the whole film.
And then we act it out to each other and find out if it's working.
And then what we do is we make tons of changes. We add drawings, we take drawings out, and when we get into a really difficult spot, we have what's called story think time. That's when everyone lays their head down on the table for a couple hours.
With our eyes closed.
Yeah, that's the key. You gotta have your eyes closed if you want the really good story ideas to come in.
I love making up stories.
You do?
Then you know what time it is.
Story think time!
Hi, what do you do?
Oh, well, I'm designing the characters for Finding Nemo.
Cool, so how do you do that?
I basically look at a bunch of real fish in aquariums and in the ocean and books and stuff, and basically look at the great shapes that nature gave us and all the designs and stuff, and just start drawing away and making these guys live for the movie.
So you just sit down and draw it like that?
There's a lot of redesigning, and I've been working on this thing for about 3 years now.
Wow, that's like a tenth of your whole life spent on one thing.
You know what? You're right, I didn't think of it that way.
So, what do you guys do?
Well, we're animators, kid.
Cool, Andrew told me a lot of cool things about animation.
Hey, what did you say?
Andrew told me a lot of cool things about animation.
Hedgehog is coming down the hole, everybody! Hedgehog in the hole! The director's coming!
Quick, Peter, come on.
Quick! Ah!
Quick, hurry. We'd love to show you how we do animation.
Animation is about bringing the characters to life.
Now, you might think because they don't have legs, fish would be easier to animate. But in fact, they were actually really hard to animate.
Ultimately, animators are actors, only we act through the computer.
Wait, hey, I'm the actor. You mean you don't need me anymore? You're gonna replace me with a computer?
No, that's not what he's saying at all. That's not what he means. See, the actors' voices inspire us to get the acting that we need to make the film so great. No. Hey, do you like cookies?
You like animation, right?
Oh, look, I made Dory.
I'm working on a shark.
Sweet.
Totally.
Hi, what do you guys do?
We're working on lighting and effects. You want to join us?
Sure.
See, we start by making the water move back and forth. That's surge and swell.
And then we put particulate in, which is like dirt moving in the water. And then we put this caustic light pattern that kind of dances all over everything.
Why don't you use true refractions as modulated by the water's surface?
I should have thought of that. Doe!
Bye, son.
And that's final.
Guys, that looks fantastic.
Hey, Alexander. Oh my gosh, Alexander. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got so busy.
It's okay. Everyone was so nice, explaining everything to me. And I can't believe all the cool stuff I saw.
Oh, that's great. You know, you're going to love the DVD. There's this really great in-depth documentary called Making Nemo. You're going to really enjoy it.
I will.
Oh, good. Did you learn anything while you were going around?
Yeah, I learned that no matter how hard you work, you always have time to goof off.
Oh, that's great. Goof off? Who's goofing off? I want names.
Oh, help me! I'm trapped in your TV!
Come on.
Woohoo!
All right, Dory, let's go over this one more time. We know your memory's not the best.
Yep, can't remember diddly.
I know.
Can't remember squat.
That's right.
Diddly squat.
Diddly squat. Now, up, Dory, over here. Now listen to me. We need to ask for directions.
Directions?
You gotta be low key.
Low key.
Because fish in this part of the reef, very skittish.
Skittish.
All right? You got that?
Uh-huh.
You're sure?
Yeah.
You don't remember a word, do you?
Nope. Nothing in my noggin.
Okay. Here's a brand new idea. You stay right here, swim in a little circle, forget to yourself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna ask for directions. Must keep thinking happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Excuse me. Whoa. My friend and I need to get to the East Australian Current.
Ah, sure, the EAC. It's in that direction. What you want to do is follow the...
There's another one. There's one. Boom. Oh, that's so much fun. Boom. They just move. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. Did you want to turn?
Could a bigger fish swallow me? I will voluntarily go on a hook.
Whoa. Hey. Was it something I said?
Dory, do you see anything?
I see a light.
A light?
Yeah. Over there.
I see it too. What is it?
It's so pretty.
I'm feeling happy, which is a big deal for me.
I want to touch it.
Oh. Hey, come back. Come on back here.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna swim with you.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna be your best friend. Good feelings gone. I need to find my son.
Your son Chico?
Nemo.
Right. Let's ask somebody for directions.
If we ask for directions, it could ingest us and spit out our bones.
What is it with men and asking for directions?
On May 30th,
Grab shell, dude!
embark on an adventure as big as the ocean itself.
Nemo!
Don't worry, whales don't eat clownfish, they eat krill. Oh, look, krill!
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo.
The water's going down. It's half empty.
I'd say it's half full.
Stop that!
There are 3.7 trillion fish in the ocean.
I have to find my son!
They're looking for one.
His son Bingo.
Nemo.
Was taken to Sydney.
Oh, sure. It's in that direction.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
Sweet.
Totally.
I gotta find my son Nemo!
Go easy on him. He's lost his son, Fabio.
Fish are friends, not food. Grab shell, dude.
It's coming up, man!
You mean the swirling vortex of terror?
That's it, dude! Go, go! Rogers!
Finding Nemo.
First you were all like, whoa, and then we were like, whoa, and then you were like, whoa.
What are you talking about?
You got serious thrill issues, dude.
Stop! I got something to tell ya!
Mine.
Don't make any sudden moves. Hop inside my mouth if you want to live.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting.
Whoa, hold on, wait to cross.
71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water.
How's it going, Bob?
That's a big place to find one fish.
Has anybody seen my son?
Your son Chico?
No, it's Nemo. We're looking for Nemo. Name's Crush.
I gotta find my son Nemo!
Grab shell, dude.
Grab what?
To find Nemo,
Let's ask for directions.
No!
What is it with men and asking for directions?
will take a miracle.
Yeah, I saw him, but I'm not telling you where he went. All right, I'll talk!
Getting him back is a whole other story. Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film.
We're gonna help him escape.
Nemo, don't give up!
Your dad's been fighting the entire ocean looking for you.
I'm coming, Nemo!
I never knew my father.
Come on, good hug.
Oh, my stomach.
No hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
You've got to see it to believe it.
Nice.
Finding Nemo.
Everybody hold on!
There are 3.7 trillion fish in the sea.
Hello.
Meet Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
He's a great white shark, one of the stars in Disney Pixar's new movie, Finding Nemo.
Sweet.
Totally.
Did you know more people are injured each year by dogs, pigs, and deer than by sharks?
I am a nice shark, not a mindless eating machine.
Yeah, right. Sharks have been known to give birth to over 100 pups at a time.
I never knew my father. Petting.
And great white sharks speak with an Australian accent.
That's a common misconception.
I don't get it.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo, rated G. To learn more about sharks, fish, and Finding Nemo, log on to findingnemo.com.
I'm having fish tonight.
See it May 30th. There are 3.7 trillion fish in the sea.
Sweet.
Totally. Oh, intro.
Meet Crush.
Grab shell, dude.
He's a green sea turtle, one of the stars in Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo.
Rogers! Rogers!
Did you know green sea turtles can stay underwater up to 5 hours?
No way.
Sure. When on land, sea turtles are nearsighted. Focus, dude. Dude. And sea turtles are total neat freaks.
Oh, man. Hey, no hurling on the shell, dude, okay? Just waxed it.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo, rated G.
Your exit's coming up, man!
To learn more about fish, turtles, and Finding Nemo, log on to findingnemo.com. See it May 30th.
You were all like, whoa! And then we were like, whoa! And then you were like, whoa.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it.
There are 3.7 trillion fish in the sea.
Duck! It's not a duck, it's a pelican!
Meet Nigel.
What did I miss in my life?
He's a brown pelican, one of the stars of Disney Pixar's new movie, Finding Nemo.
It's all right if I ever took a snap at you. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta eat.
Did you know the life expectancy of a pelican is 30 years? Pelicans often nest in mixed species colonies.
Would you just shut up?
And pelicans make really bad liars.
Hop inside my mouth if you want to live.
Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo, rated G. To learn more about Finding Nemo, log on to findingnemo.com. See it May 30th.
There, Tiger, you happy?
Mine.
Mr. and Mrs. Jellyman. Whoa, big old blue. That is one totally... Dude, I don't know if I know where... The news does travel swiftly, my man. Mister? Whoa, Jellyman, a little... Dude, that is one gnarly. Little Blue is like, whoa, and Jelly...
Disney's greatest animated classics will become for the very first time 2-disc special edition Disney DVDs. Bring home the wonderful music of Pocahontas.
Paint with all the colors of the wind.
Plus hours of entertainment, including an all-new song performed by Mel Gibson, If I Never Knew You.
To me?
To you. Enjoy the classic story and colorful characters of Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Now with bonus games and an all-new Cheshire Cat song. Go on a Hawaiian adventure with Lilo and Stitch.
Aloha!
On the Hawaiian roller coaster ride. And laugh along with behind-the-scenes fun. And never-before-seen footage. You've never experienced Disney movies like this. Now with so much more than ever. 2-disc special edition Disney DVDs for the entire family. From the greatest Disney movies come the greatest Disney DVDs.
Attention. The new Spy Kids movie is so exciting. You have to cover your eyes to see it in 3D.
Coming soon to DVD. Hello, Junie. Your sister's missing.
The third movie.
Junie, what do you know about a new video game called Game Over?
I know that just about every kid in the world is gonna sign on and play it.
Well, not if we can help it. The game is a trap.
The third mission.
Put on these glasses, and you'll enter the world of the game.
You go in, find your sister, help her shut down the game in 12 hours, or it's game over for everyone.
The third dimension.
I'm looking for my sister. She's somewhere on level 4.
There are no rules in this game except win at any cost.
You get to bring in any one person from the outside to help you on your journey.
Junie, where am I?
In a video game run by a madman called a toy maker. Grandpa, you can walk.
Oh, I can do more than that.
Well, I'm taking this to the next level.
You experience the rush.
Let's find your sister, Junie.
You feel the excitement.
Carmen's on this level. I will crush you! You have to go through me first, Game Boy. I'm his sister.
Let's kick some metal.
You live the danger.
Mega Race, the fastest, most dangerous race in the game world.
Glasses, quick! You get the glasses. Because this time, you're part of the adventure. Spy Kids 3D Game Over. Coming soon to 3 DVD. With your own set of 3D glasses.